Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this very special, not Let's Play, but update video for Star Realms. As most of you are probably already aware, there has been an update to the app. It comes with a couple of different things that I thought I would talk to you guys about today. First of all, it looks a little bit different here for the loading screen. And it also looks a bit different when you actually go to play. I'm going to go ahead and just play versus the AI on easy. You'll notice I have finally made an in-app purchase as well. I have Colony Wars. You can now play with either the core set only, Colony Wars only, or both core sets, in addition to being able to choose which of the various expansions you want to include. So if you want to play Colony Wars only, you can do that, as well as all the other combinations. So that is definitely one nifty thing. It is, of course, a paid expansion, just like all the others. It is, I believe, $4.99. Not too bad of a price, as is the usual case on all of these expansions. And let's go ahead and play just some Colony Wars versus the AI, so you can see what the user interface looks like now for those who have not had a chance to actually update and play the game. As you can see, there is a little bit of a 3D effect going on here. All the cards are tilted. I was a bit wary of this at first, I must be honest. I'm not a big fan of these, usually. But this one actually seems to be done particularly well. They have made sure to keep as much of the text as possible really close to this standard non-perspective look to it. And what you will notice is that there's actually a little bit of extra space around here, so that's definitely kind of nice. What I am told is that there's room for more bases. I haven't really had enough experience with stacking up my bases high enough to notice a difference yet myself, but that is what was conveyed to us by the White Wizard staff. And you'll notice a couple of other differences too. You've got this blinking cursor here thing, and that is because I have a controller plugged in, I do believe. I don't think it shows up without it. And in fact, I'm going to unplug my controller and see what happens. Is it still there? It is still there. Let me go ahead and back out and then join back in again and see if that cursor is gone. No, it is still there. I'm not sure if that's just a permanent thing or if it's just because it once recognized a controller. Someone out there who does not have a controller connected is going to have to let me know on that one. But, and no, I do not want to open the game bar windows. You're not seeing that because it's not getting recorded. But one thing I really love about this is that I am using a controller right now to move this cursor around and select what I want to do. And as you may see over by Play All, there is a letter Y. If I hit Y on my controller, it plays all of the cards. You'll also notice over on the Easy AI's user icon, there is a little picture of a trigger with RT, so I can hit the right trigger on my controller, and that does the damage to the face of my opponent. That is going to be very nifty as well. Let's see, I can only buy a couple different things. I'm going to buy, well, I'm used to seeing if there's a blue for two that it's a, oh, I'm blanking on the name. Cutter. Yes, I'm used to seeing a cutter, and this is not quite a cutter because this is Colony Wars, and I'm not super familiar with all of these cards. I don't actually have this game physically. I don't particularly want to buy it online, but nobody has been carrying it in my neck of the woods, so unfortunately I have not picked it up yet. I was about to break down and buy it on Amazon pretty soon, but now that I can play it on here, this might keep me going until someone finally stocks it in my neighborhood. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and buy that anyway because this is just a quick demonstration game. If I press A on my controller, it does the pop-up that shows me the card a little bit larger, so I can read all of the details of what's on it, and then I can press A again to buy it, or I can press, what can I press? I think I can press B, and yes, it backs out. So I can press A, pops up, press A again, and it buys it. And I didn't particularly want to buy that, but I was trying to show you guys how it works, and I can either go no, I can't actually click on end turn to end my turn. I have to use Y. The one downside to this controller interface is I have not yet found a single way to get over to the menu. I still have to use my mouse if I want to look at anything in the menu here. There is an end turn button, which is new, at least in this particular menu it's new. You can use this end turn button even if you haven't played all of your cards yet. That is one of the big differences between the physical game and the digital game up until this update that many folks would have liked to have seen. And now it is here. So if for some reason you've got a weird combination of cards where it actually hurts to play that last card, you can go ahead and end your turn before playing it, just like in the real life paper version. Another thing I'd like to look at while we're here is the log. Now we haven't played much of the game, so you won't see as huge of a difference, but you may notice that the format is a little bit clearer now. It says play all and then indents it over to say what everything that you played was, and it keeps your running total of where your combat and your trade are, +1 combat from that Viper, total combat 1. And one awesome thing, if we come back here later on after I end my turn, we'll let the easy AI do its thing real quick. And I will play all of mine again. And now I'm just going to go show you the log. Check this out. If we scroll all the way up to the top, it still has everything. I am not 100% sure because I didn't find the log very easy to follow in earlier versions, so I didn't use it that much unless there was something I really specifically wanted to look up. But I don't believe it kept track of anything but the last turn. And now it keeps track of everything. I think that's new. If it's not, it's certainly formatted so much better that I can actually tell that it's keeping track. So that's still quite something. I really do like that change to the logging of this game. Let's go ahead and leave this game because there's not too much else to show you in here other than what I've already gone over. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and leave. If you play online, I have not yet agreed to the terms of service, so I guess I better do that. It's on video. Yes, I've agreed to your terms of service, but it's also on video that I didn't actually read through the whole thing because no one ever does. I am level 5 with 2 of 6 wins for those of you who have not kept up. New game button, and you are about to start a real-time game. I'm not actually going to start one for this particular video, but what we have, well, I didn't think I was going to, but I guess I will, so let's go ahead and play. Alright, I once again had to back out to get to that, which is one thing I wanted to go over. The old Star Realm servers had some serious issues with timing out, and I was hoping, and I'm still hoping, that that issue has been fixed in the new version of the game. I believe there were actually some back-end changes, but I do not have that confirmed. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and play this game, and I will probably fast forward it for you guys because it's going to be difficult to annotate my very first playthrough when I'm not too familiar with the interface. You'll notice there is a timer now telling you how much time you or your opponent has left on their turn. That is a new feature in these real-time games. I do believe you start with 45 seconds plus half of what was left on your previous turn, and there are caps on that, so it will always be between 60 and 90 seconds, and it does go up a little bit for every card that you play or use an ability on. I don't know the exact numbers on that. Hey guys, it occurred to me that I missed one thing that I wanted to point out in this video, so I thought I would throw it in here during this time lapse, and that is at the end of a game, in addition to the replay last turn button, you also have a replay all button that will give you the entire game. So go check that out if you're interested, and if I missed anything else that you know of, please leave a comment down below and maybe we can look at that in the future. Alright, let's get back to the game. Here's something that I want to show you guys. Watch what happens when I play this and trigger the discard, you will notice a little arrow here. This is one of the new features. It tells you how many cards are going to have to be discarded. Come on, just finish me off. You can do it. Thanks. Good game. I'm wondering if they just weren't familiar with the interface too, so I'm not going to say too much bad about them. Prolonging my defeat there. And I can still look at the log after this. This is new. I don't have to back out of the game and try and replay to see the log. I think that's what you had to do before. And look at this. You can check out the entire game and recreate it and go over this whole thing. So if you want to review your game, you can easily do so by replaying it from the log and look for those times when you're like, okay, I lost this game and I think maybe this was when I should have bought something else. Although I don't believe there's any way to see what the trade row was, so I guess that's not entirely correct. All of the games are these instantaneous games now other than challenges. Is there no way to do a new 48-hour game anymore? I'm guessing there isn't, which we're about to start a real-time game. That is a little disappointing, because it used to be that if it took quite a while for your game to connect and you just didn't have any time to sit around, you could switch to a 48-hour game, and then at least you'd have time to play it without timing out. Now, if you get in a situation where you start a new game and it just sits there for 15-20 minutes without connecting just because maybe nobody's really online at that time, you're going to lose the game on time because it's a real-time game. That's a little annoying. I'm hoping there's some way to cancel out if it doesn't connect you quickly. If there's not, that is something I'm probably going to try and get a hold of White Wizard's support and mention. I did have a couple other things that I want to get a hold of them on. If you go into the settings menu, you'll notice resolution still only goes up for me to 1920 by 1080, which is 1080p for those who are familiar with screen resolutions. Maybe it's because it's detecting my monitor, and that is the highest resolution my particular monitor can do. But I thought there used to be higher resolutions even on a lower resolution monitor, because I did have a lower resolution monitor that I used sometimes in some circumstances, and I thought those would show up. So I would have thought it would show up here for 4K and perhaps 8K resolution support. I'm guessing maybe the app doesn't have that, which is kind of disappointing, honestly, in this particular day and age that they wouldn't support that natively, but maybe they do. So if you have a 4K monitor and you can confirm whether or not that is an option available if you have such a monitor, I would love to hear about that down in the comments below. Please let me know. There is also lots of new music. I don't normally record music when I record my games. It just makes it so much more difficult to edit. I might change that now that it's going to be real-time games. We will see. There's going to be quite a bit that I have to rethink when I'm doing these games. So that's something to check out, new music. I'm not sure what the static camera is. I've had it checked. I haven't tried to play around or had a chance to really look at things. Maybe it moves around when you play cards. I'm not sure I would like that too much. It would probably make me a little bit queasy. And I always have dynamic starfield off because, again, that's one of those things that makes it hard to edit, but I might end up putting that back on depending on how the workflow goes. So I haven't seen much else other than there are, of course, some new campaigns available if you make the Colony Wars purchase. By the way, to make that clear, 2 things happened today. One, the app updated to the new versions, and that is across all platforms. That's Android, iOS, and Steam for PC. I didn't see any of the little controller type things when I was playing on Android earlier, but again, I haven't had much of a chance to look into everything. I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't there, and it might be something that only happens when you have a controller connected. I would be also curious to know if you connect a Bluetooth controller, say, to your Android phone or your iOS phone, do those buttons show up? Can you use a controller on a mobile phone or a tablet as well? So the 2 things that dropped today were the new app update and Colony Wars. They're both at the same time, but they are separate. You do still need to purchase Colony Wars. You don't just get it for free. But like all previous expansions to Star Realms, if you purchase it on one platform, you will have it available on all once you go down here and click on Restore Purchases in the lower right. So that is awesome. I have heard a lot of problems with people, especially on the mobile versions, and I ran into some problems myself as well with the app. Once it updated and I tried to load it, it would load for like 2 or 3 seconds and then it would shut down, and it would just keep doing that. For some people, doing a force stop on the app in your system settings seemed to help. For others, if they completely shut down their device and then started it back up again, that would fix it. And there do seem to be a few people who didn't have things fixed in any of those situations. So if that does happen to you, what you should do is you should get a hold of White Wizards. I'm not sure where that is. Here it is. In the settings menu, contact us. And that will take you to this page that has their email address right here, support. You're not going to see that because I'm not capturing the screen that I just got taken to. This will take you to a browser window with their support page. Doesn't have much on it, but it does have their email address, support@whitewizards.games.com, I believe. Anyway, just click on that if you're having problems. If you can't click on that, I guess it is probably helpful to know what that is, support@whitewizardgames.com. If you can't memorize that, go ahead and look around in the Facebook group if you're familiar with that, or if you're not on Facebook, they are also on Reddit, and I believe you can find their information there or look them up online, but their support is not hard to find, and I have actually gotten a hold of them in the past and got a reply back pretty quickly. I would imagine it might be a little bit slower right now with the launch of this new app and Colony Wars, but they seem to be pretty quick about people who have problems. So just in case that happens. I have not tried too much against the AI. I did start a game. What I have heard is that the Easy AI, which I played this test game with, is now supposed to be much easier. I didn't find it to be so myself, the one test game I actually played. This is my second where I think I just took a turn or my opponent took one turn. I didn't find it to be particularly easier, but I didn't really play the Easy AI that much previously, so maybe it was super hard before. I found the hard AI was about what I expected. Decent, but not super great AI, which is usually what you get in most games. I found that was about where I would expect it to be, but I haven't really played around with the easy and medium AI too much. But I have heard they made the easy AI even easier. Of course, I've only played it against the AI with Colony Wars instead of vanilla, so it probably was more my lack of familiarity with all of the Colony Wars cards that caused my issues than just the AI being too good. But who knows? Anyway, guys, if you have any other questions that you would like to get answers to regarding the new updates, either to the app or Colony Wars, please give me a shout down in the comments below, and I'll see if I can get them answered. And of course, as always, check out the Mega Holland podcast and the Facebook group if you want more information. They have both given a lot of info on the update, and they have both given us a lot of info on Colony Wars, both the cards themselves and strategy. So they'll know better than me about most of the Colony Wars stuff especially. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and have fun with the new update version 4 point a whole bunch of stuff. Alrighty, I'll see you guys on my regular Saturday morning Star Realms video. This is just a special one for the week. Alright, later.